Welcome everybody to the Coaches Challenge Film Study 2021, episode number 1. We're covering Zach Wilson, and as you can see, all of our beautiful faces are here for the first time ever. This is, not the traditional, what we've been doing. Of course, links will be down in the description if you want to go follow social media, subscribe to the podcast, all that jazz. But we've been promising these videos for the last couple episodes, so here they are. And, as you can see, the first one's going to be on Zach Wilson out of BYU, and we just want to see what all the hype is about. These videos are going to be film studies of best and worst games, at least for quarterbacks, we're going to do the best and the worst game. We're going to try and figure a little something else out for other positions. There'll be other people on the way. We're going to do some of the wide receivers from this class, the cornerbacks, which I think will be really interesting, some more defensive guys. So stay tuned for those. Hoping to drop 2 episodes a week, so hit that subscribe button down below, turn the notifications on so you know when we upload new ones, and without further ado, let's get into it. Zach Wilson from BYU, here we go.
Quarterback, he is the most accurate passer in the FBS. Over 80%, 81 and change.
That was a good throw.
It's
a little underthrown. He underthrew it just a touch.
The one thing I do like about Zach Wilson is that he's very decisive. You can tell they run a lot of RPO and a lot of play action in BYU, and because of that, you got to be quick to the draw. You have to make your decision before the D-line gets to you. And something that I do like from him, and something that I'm seeing here against Houston, is that if he sees a matchup that he can take advantage of on the outside, he's going to attack that. He doesn't think twice about it, and that's something that I see from him that I really like. That's going to help him transition into the NFL.
That's Jeff Grimes. How many of these trick plays do you have coming in? So we don't call them trick plays. We call them specials. We load up about.
I love his throwing motion. It's just like he's flicking the ball up, dude. Man, I love that.
Yeah. He needs to tuck that ball there. It's like hanging it out like that.
That'll come with experience. When you get that ball slapped out a couple of times, you'll learn to tuck it.
Love him in short yardage situations. See if they give him the football.
That was the worst QB sneak I've ever seen. He looked like He looked like Mark Sanchez on the butt fumble, just running into his man there.
You can even classify that as a QB sneak, quote unquote.
Andre Ware, Chris Button, along with you, our entire crew. And Zach Wilson off play action on second down, climbing the pocket, using some touch down the middle into traffic. It goes. And
I guess you got the pass interference call right there. So
that's interesting there, because like you said, Daryl, his throwing motion is such like a flick of the wrist type thing that heck, I'm surprised. Like in that pass there, kind of like I didn't know he was gonna go that deep. I guess
exactly.
I like this.
Oh no, I think it's a good. Got a good full game tape.
That was a pass?
Yeah, he definitely is.
That was a pitch.
He is definitely very quick in his decision making.
That throw is. They call it a completion.
No doubt about it. An awful situation, but credit to the Houston football program for doing what they can to help in that way.
I think that's something that you're probably going to have to come with time. Those past couple of plays we just saw there, him throwing outside the hash marks to that sideline. I had to be able to get a little bit more arm strength on it. You think that, last couple of routes that he threw the wide receivers out there, didn't really get it quite get it to him. I think we can see that, especially with like his deep ball, like you mentioned earlier, and underthrowing some wide receivers. So I think that's just an arm strength thing. That's something you can work on and kind of develop over time. But
I hate this comparison, but I have to do it because it reminds me of him. I remember one of the main criticisms of Mitch Trubisky during the draft was that he had a problem throwing outside the numbers. And I kind of noticed that with him. I don't think it's a throw power problem with Zach Wilson, especially on these comeback routes. I think his issue is like touch. I think because he throws it so hard, he feels like he needs to take a lot off when he throws comebacks, and it just throws the timing of the route off. And I think you seen it a couple of plays ago that DB almost picked that off. Something that people that are ignoring about Zach Wilson, that because they're so fixated on trying to up his draft position, I think a lot of people are ignoring the fact that sometimes he is inconsistent with his touch. His throw power is inconsistent in the sense that sometimes he can throw it deep. I'm not doubting his ability to get it down there, but sometimes his ball placement isn't where it needs to be. And I feel like that's something that you need to talk. It's something he's going to have to work on when he gets to the pros.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that. Well, you watch those last two throws on the outside, the numbers in the NFL. One of those is probably getting picked. With the way the defensive back is playing, like they jumped the route, and that's not just a pick. That's probably 6 points.
Show who you did that to in the NFL. I'm really interested in who you might bury. Third down for Wilson, looking for a first down of the
consecutive drives by this BYU offense where the Cougars have played outstanding.
Oh, he missed one right there. Hold on, go back to that one. Go back. Yeah.
This is a good angle of it too.
Oh.
Yeah.
He underthrew it and it was off a little bit. Like, I mean, I think if you watch his feet right here. Watch his feet right before he throws it. It gets a little jumpy footed, and I don't know if he actually
happy.
He actually like sets his feet right there to make that throw.
Also, I mean, I'm sure this is the play that was designed or whatever, and I'm guessing, it looks like there was a safety over the top there, but I think that's one of those that I know the design play there is to go to that out route or like that comeback towards the sideline, but I think, with time you got to start understanding
the middle of the field right to
this. Yeah, if he goes to the middle of the field, even if he like leads the receiver that he's throwing to back up the sideline a little bit more, that's something that he doesn't have to stick to that specific route. But that throw was.
I see that, like, that's something that I was watching. I actually watched a film study on him a couple of weeks ago. I forgot what the name of the YouTuber is. I think he was like a former NFL quarterback that does breakdowns, and they talked about this: is that Zach Wilson will fall in love with like a deep throw, and he will miss like other parts of the field because he becomes so locked in on his first read. Because I'm guessing that's the tight end right there. There's 15 yards of space between him and that safety, and that safety is clearly like he's tracking over to the outside receiver to the sideline. That's easily a first down right there.
You can see it like right here in the top kind of right of the. I know it's a little blurry right now, but you can see it right.
For Wilson.
That guy, yeah, you can see it a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Right up there is that guy. So, I mean, I don't know though. He leads that guy. He leads that man up the field like that again. That might be another touchdown.
Yeah.
He's got.
Oh, that's a great touchdown,
Exactly.
but it's just like there was an easier read for him.
Oh, you're talking.
And those
you were
like-
talking about. You were talking about
But-
this man down here.
But I think that's
This man,
Right
like
here.
right
that's the
over
important
here.
thing, like right there.
Yeah.
He had like the throw he ended up making on that play was not the best option. Like whether it be like Daryl said, hit the guy in the middle of the field there, or like he pointed out, Ben, lead the receiver that he did throw to up the field a little bit more. Like the option the best option there wasn't the throw that he had or the throw that he made. And there's a lot more space that he could have thrown into.
Down for Wilson, looking for a first down of the
Consecutive drives by this BYU offense where the Cougars have played outstanding defense.
Leighton Toon knows that the guy on the other side is
There's a
one of the
certain throw in
starters.
here. I don't know if it was from this game,
I want
but I hope it is. I'm pretty sure you'll probably see it on Twitter. I want
Cleveland out of a playoff run.
I can hear the
Hope
fierce
to
in your
see you.
voice like you were just
Oh,
playing.
no,
it right
that's
now,
the
which
Tom
is
Brady
pretty awesome.
special.
That's Al
This
Davis.
is really the Tom Brady special.
Zach Wilson had a little bit of pressure on him this drive to produce.
Never noticed how much they run the pistol.
Some more pressure. Wilson tried to elude it and threw it into the ground. Think, right?
Yeah, I mean, you want arm strength. This was against Louisiana Tech a couple of weeks ago. far hash mark on a dime.
Wow, what a throw.
Coverage.
That was a
Safety
good one, yeah.
corner can't make a
That was a
play.
really
Half
good one.
touch, absolutely. Off the play fake. Over the
I know,
top,
like
throwing
you
guys
pointed this
open.
out, Ben, but I
Again,
noticed
just
this when he goes to
touches
set
the
his
top,
feet. It's
into
like
the
he
end
switches
zone.
his feet at the
Again,
last
to Carter
second.
Wheat. And then is he mobile
It's
enough?
weird.
Yeah, he is. You drop deep in zone coverage.
I love how like is he mobile enough and they show like 1 7-yard run. Like, wow, mobility.
Oh, what a throw
That
Andy
was
threw
a
that at.
throw there.
I think that's his
Wow.
best. That might be his best trait for me is his ability to change angles when he's throwing. To
Change
fit through
angles,
windows. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, no, that one seemed a little forced.
I see what he was trying to draw that pass interference, but that's a risky one because they don't call that. If you're playing against the right team, that's a pick six.
Wilson again tees it up. Gonna play a time.
He is very aggressive.
What, damn, I mean, that's like a fifth of the
That's what
season
you want though, right?
so
Guys
far,
not afraid to throw it.
Can we take a look
I mean,
at
you
that?
want somebody that's not afraid to throw it, but he can't be so unafraid that he just makes stupid decisions. And that's going to be the issue for him is that was the Baker Mayfield problem. I think he got better about it this year. You know, it helps having 2 all-pro running backs, but
You know what we
one
call
of
that?
his what?
We call it the reverse Tyrod Taylor.
But he has Baker had this issue that and I know that they had a bad like offensive system. He had like a new offensive coordinator every year, but Baker's problem is that he was way too aggressive and he was trying to force the ball to Odell most of the time, or hell, whoever was out there on the outside, and he was doing too much. Baker's best attribute is his ability to be a gunslinger, but there has to be a control to it.
Yeah.
That's why people like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes have found sustained success. It's because they've been able to find a balance between being a gunslinger and still being a intelligent quarterback that's processing the field. And I know that because they're playing against Houston, him in the back of his mind, even if he won't come out and say this, thinking, well, I can do whatever the hell I want to because Houston isn't that good of a team, especially the defensive backfield. But you have to process the field, and you know it's good to be confident in your abilities, but there's to be a control to it.
Third down. They do move him. Wilson on the roll.
Because then he has these moments where he'll pass the dump off and they get some good yardage. There's an inconsistency there. If he can get more consistent about just doing the right thing instead of trying to do like the most noteworthy thing, I think that'll help him go a long way.
Also with that, in terms of like potential fits, you know, running out of the pistol and seeing him, you know, we see he utilizes his running back pass. We see right there, didn't even know that was about to happen. You see he utilizes his running back a lot in the passing game.
Oh my God.
If I'm a team like Carolina, you know, I got Christian McCaffrey who's a threat in the passing game. I consider maybe trying to trade up and see if I can pair Zach Wilson with him. See what that happens, see where that takes us. You know, they got DJ Moore as well.
I like how he steps up in the pocket through pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks don't do that.
True.
Zach Wilson, your serve. Wilson under pressure coming from Logan Hall. He goes to the sideline and he's got the big guy with the hurdle again.
Okay. I know this is a Zach Wilson highlight tape, but wait a minute. Shout out to Big Man there for the hurdle, dog.
That's
He
what
went in there
everybody
with
hurdles
absolutely
now.
reckless abandonment.
That
Exactly.
So without Romney, Wilson.
Oh, that's
Good
a
throw.
foot. Yeah. All right. Wow.
Inside the play against Navy, everyone knows that Navy is a running team.
See, for those of you who may have been concerned, given my recent statements on our podcast about how I would feel that the Falcons took Zach Wilson over Justin Fields if they're, as you can see, I do have the capability of saying positive things about Zach Wilson.
My man really needs to work on his run up the middle technique though. He's been stuffed every time.
Second and goal.
You're gonna send him to running back camp.
Oh, that's terrible defense. That was terrible tackling. Jeez, I know
There was a
this is Zach
screen
Wilson.
pass on the goal line. This is Jim
when the
Zorn.
defense is tackling,
This is a Jim Zorn level play call when Jim Zorn called the end around on the goal line. What the hell was that?
when they're tackling like that, you can do it.
Zorn.
Jesus, that was bad, man. Like, what was that?
His momentum is enough to get him across the goal line.
Momentum my ass. That was bad tackling.
How much pressure does Houston bring?
They dial it up. Here they come.
5 of them. Backpedaling.
He has to make his decision way quicker right there.
He knows pressure is coming. Yeah, no, I agree. He knows pressure is coming. He can see it. He still has. They pick it up initially. Actually, the line picks it up initially.
Yeah.
Enough time that he could have gotten the ball out of there. Right here. He should at least right. Oh, I can't. I want to pause it right here. That's the moment where you need to be. Hey, I need to either be moving or throwing this ball away. And he kind of
Yeah.
and he backpedals instead. And I mean, again, not a big deal, but not a big deal right now. But like something that, you know, when in the NFL, you're going to be getting pressure more than we've seen so far. They basically sent everything at him because you can see the whoever that linebacker was on the weak side was moved down into the box, or he moved down into, well, he's already in the box, but like moved down into.
Yeah.
Like just kind of stacking himself on the D line there. So you know you're most likely about to get almost everybody sent at you. You've got to be aware of that.
That's Algier in motion into the backfield.
It probably isn't the case, but
what?
Wow.
He just casually underhand tosses this to the.
Boy, that's sweet, but something safe.
They've rushed for 39 yards to this point in the game. Oh my God.
The bottom receiver in the slot open already.
Zach Wilson has been awesome against zones. So
Wilson think
15-yard penalty is
sees the mismatch, knows where the hole in the defense is at, just makes the decision.
Mhm.
Under 5 to go.
There you
Wilson
go.
Right there, tucks and runs.
First down and more for Zach Wilson.
When you get everybody thinking pass rush, I gotta get to the.
Yeah, design QB draw right there. Their divas a lot of the time, or Antonio Brown. I don't know. Wide
That's my
receiver.
quarterback.
Ooh, that was a throw.
Hey, now
Oh,
he has
he didn't
to-
catch
oh,
it. Was that a
he-
catch?
Oh,
Was it?
he dropped it. They're gonna say what's in the catch.
That throw has some zip to it.
That was a nice throw. That was a good
You
one.
gotta secure that all the way through, dog.
Ready and is able to poke it out.
The review, the ruling on the incomplete pass for second down.
Yep, incomplete.
Hand it off to Algier here. Get the clock started again.
Oh,
Ew.
Man.
that's the problem with these quick throws again. Is like doesn't give you enough time. You know where you're supposed to be going with it, but you think you're like, oh, I know this is where I'm going, so I'm not gonna take the time to set my feet. I'm not gonna take the time to make sure that I'm delivering the most accurate pass that I can. And I guess that's something,
Yeah.
again, that'll come with time and practice. Like eventually, yeah, you kind of won't have to think about it. It'll just happen. But like, you know, body language, body mechanics, or everything. And eventually your body just remembers, like, hey, set feet, make throw, like that kind of a thing. It's like with anything. I don't know.
I feel like it's really easy to take those kind of like those screen passes or like those dump offs for granted a little bit. Like you said, it's kind of your mechanics just break down. So okay, I know I'm gonna go out wide to this, or I got a guy cutting, you know, across the middle or something. So it's like it's a little flick out, you know, whatever.
He turned himself into a pretty good right tackle.
You think screen here, Andre?
Screen or draw?
It was
Neither.
neither.
Oh, Wilson.
Oh,
What a
that-
throw!
That's
What
a throw.
throw!
That's a throw. That's what he needs to be doing like every time he's throwing it down the field.
Okay.
It's better to lead your receiver to the end zone when they're one-on-one on the outside.
That's exactly how you want to. That's exactly how you want it
The
to go
next
right
end
there.
zone.
And he's been awesome.
What a double move. They take advantage of the aggression of Demarion Williams. It took
Perfect.
all the way to the fourth quarter.
Why would that ref ruin the camera angle?
You hear guys
If there's anything I've seen from this
scratch the
game
surface with some of this
that
stuff,
impressed me, it's
but he
like I said, his decision making. I like that he doesn't hesitate
is on another level. Is
when he
trying
sees
to get
something
to a
open.
different-
Now, if a defense
Mhm.
is disguising itself, which I don't think Houston did a good job of that for most of this game, but if a defense, and a lot of NFL defenses do this, throw looks at you and then go to something completely different, I think he's going to have an issue because a lot of those reads that he likes to go too quick are not going to be open for him like they are in college. So that's definitely something he's going to have to work on, and something he's going to definitely have to be coached up on. He had moments where he handled the blitz well, especially if there's an opening up the middle, he's going to take it. But there were certain situations where, you know, they would, you know, bring a heavy blitz and he would get into like panic mode and run backwards, thinking his athleticism would save him at the last minute instead of making a decisive decision. I liked his arm strength on many of those throws. His placement was elite in certain situations, but then it was off in others. Yet again, it's going to come with repetition. But other than that, yeah, this was probably the best game from Zach Wilson that I can remember him playing from last season.